When you see a gorgeous woman in public, you have about 5 seconds to either come across as creepy and intimidating or mysterious and attractive. And the difference between the two is all in the approach. I'm Renee Slansky for the Attractive Man team, and in this video, I'm going to give you my top 10 effective tips for approaching women in public so that you can know if and when to approach her and come across as a more desirable and confident man every single time. I'm a professional dating and relationship coach, and it is my mission to help men like yourself understand us women and become a more confident man. So if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, make sure you do so now, and of course give us a big thumbs up. Okay, let's talk about approaching women in public. You see, it's a really fine line between coming across as a stalker and making us feel really unsafe in your approach and your presence, and of course then painting yourself as a sort of alpha male and someone who knows what it is that he wants and isn't afraid to get it. Truth is, guys, is that we actually, majority of the time, do want to be approached because it makes us feel special and singled out from any other girl around us. And let's face it, most of the time we actually do want to meet somebody in real life, right? As opposed to on a dating app. The difference is if we're actually putting out, kind of vibes and signals that we don't want to be approached because either we're busy with friends or we're just not in the mood, that is not a green light for you to try and push that boundary or push your agenda on us. So that's why in this video, I really want to kind of break it down for you guys so that you can understand if and when to approach a woman and how to do it successfully so that you leave the right impression and walk away knowing that you have a chance with this girl. So I'm going to give you my top 10 tips, and if you stay to the end, I'm also going to give you access to our free conversation cheat sheet, which is absolutely amazing because not only will you know how to approach a woman, but then you will also have the confidence to know exactly what to say to get her hooked. Number 10, assess the environment. Just because you see her, again, it doesn't mean that you have the right to go up and actually start talking to her. And if you're someone who struggles with rejection, if you don't actually look at the situation first, then there is a possibility that she will reject you. And of course, that doesn't really help you build your confidence. So have a look at what she is doing. Is she engaged in a conversation with somebody else? Is she intoxicated? Is she wearing a wedding ring, so therefore she's completely off limits? Really try and assess all the little details first and take your time. Just because you see her straight away doesn't mean that you should automatically go up to her straight away. Maybe she's already with a guy and he's just gone to the bathroom. Wait a couple of minutes, even up to about 5 minutes, to really work out whether or not this woman is ready to be approached. Now, it doesn't mean that you sit behind a bush and you stare at her because that's kind of creepy. It's about just acting natural and glancing over or looking from a distance and really, like I said, assessing the situation first to work out whether or not you can or should even approach her in the first place. Number 9, what is her body language saying? We subconsciously project what it is that we're feeling and to some degree what it is that we're even thinking without even realizing through the way that we hold our posture and our body. If a woman has her arms crossed or any part of her legs or body crossed, or maybe has a handbag in front of her, then basically what she's doing is she's kind of projecting out there that she doesn't necessarily want to be approached, or she doesn't feel open and comfortable in talking to someone that she doesn't actually know. Maybe she's had a bad day, or maybe she's had a lot of men come up to her. Wait and see if she relaxes a little. If she is really putting out that vibe that she feels either hostile towards anyone around her or she has this scared look on her face, then it's important to make sure that you don't approach in a way that would be overly intimidating towards her. When you do start to approach a woman, because just because her body language may be crossed, it doesn't mean that you can't approach her. It's just about being aware. Because if you're aware of what she might be mentally expecting or focusing at that point in time, then it gives you an idea of how you should actually respond to her or how you should actually handle the approach as such. For instance, you wouldn't come up from behind her because that's just kind of a bit scary and a little bit disrespectful as such. You would maybe approach from the side but still within her peripheral vision so that she doesn't feel that you're kind of creeping up on her. Now, once you do actually approach her, make sure that you continue to watch her body language through the whole conversation to see if she's feeling relaxed in your presence as such. You'll know this because she'll start to open up her arms and her shoulders a little bit. She'll start to uncross her body and she may even start to turn herself a little bit towards you. Number 8, make yourself and your presence aware to her without actually directly approaching her. Now, the way that we do this is simply by moving into her line of sight. It doesn't mean you go and stand right there in front of her because that's a little bit weird. It's more about being in her peripheral vision. And then what you do is over time, you don't have to do it straight away, give yourself a couple of minutes for her to get comfortable with and also just aware of your presence. Start to move a little bit further into her line of vision so that she can actually see that you're there and so that she can start to assess the situation as well. Because don't forget, once she actually begins to notice you, she's going to start to do her own kind of little audit of the situation as well. And you want her to start to feel comfortable in your presence without you even approaching her in the first place. And the best way to do that is simply for her to be able to see you as a normal sort of guy, doing your thing and occasionally glancing over at her. Number 7, catch her eye and smile. This is a great way to kind of start the little bit of the tease and the dance to kind of send her the signal that you are actually interested. Now, it doesn't mean you deaf stare her down or that you stare at her creepily. We know that that is not the way to do it. You can prove that you are a confident man and that you're not afraid to kind of look at her and be caught. But it's also a great way, again, to make her feel a little bit special and, again, be aware that you're there and you're actually interested in her. Now, don't hold her gaze for longer than a couple of seconds. Kind of look and then look away and then look again and look away. But make sure you smile every time you do it. If you just kind of look at her every single time like that, again, it's going to come across as kind of really creepy. A smile is a great way to communicate that you are someone who is friendly and that you want to put her at ease. Number 6, pick a feature to focus on and then use it as a way to compliment her when you do actually approach. You want to make sure if you're going to approach her that you have something in mind to be able to say. It's no good, catching her eye, being in her peripheral vision and then suddenly going up there and just being like, so, we love to know that you are a man who has already thought about the process, that you've already come up with some sort of detail that you want to actually ask us or that you're aware about us. Now, just make sure that this detail isn't something that can be sexualized. For instance, don't go up and say, hey, I like your boobs, or hey, you've got amazing lips. Anything with lips and breasts or anything to do with the body part can be sexualized. Guys, keep it really light. Whether it is you have a really nice dress, or hey, I love your hair, or you've got beautiful eyes. Eyes is always a winner. Or if you're going to say something about the mouth, then talk about her smile. By offering us a really authentic compliment that doesn't take it too far or doesn't have any sort of sexual innuendo attached to it, it's going to, again, make us feel really special. And the more detailed you can get, whether you pick out the color of her jacket or the pair of shoes that she's wearing, and of course you want to come across as, not necessarily a fashionista, but a man who's just noticed something special about her, she's actually going to realize that you're a man who is able to see beyond just the surface level. We're women. We love to be told that we are beautiful. So use it to your advantage, guys. And I will just say this. There are different sort of words which either indicate that you kind of only want kind of a good time as opposed to that you're actually someone who is a little bit more genuine. For example, the word hot as opposed to the word beautiful. Try and make your words a little bit longer than 3 syllables and actually put some thought and effort behind that compliment. Number 5, never ever approach from behind. It is something that is going to make us feel incredibly unsafe in your presence and it will really have the opposite reaction to what you want. Always approach either from the side in which we can see your peripheral vision or from the front. Now, if you are approaching from the front, just make sure that the way that you do it isn't intimidating. You might have a beeline for her because she's the most gorgeous woman you've ever seen and you've been captivated by her smile. But it doesn't give you permission to just walk over to her in such a way that she actually feels a little bit freaked out. If you have a relaxed, friendly, yet confident energy about yourself, it's actually going to put us at ease and be more open to being able to talk to you. Number 4, always have a smile. As I said before, a smile is the perfect way to really put someone's mind at ease. Remember, you don't know this person from a bar of soap, and she doesn't know you from a bar of soap, and you want to make sure that instantly she feels safe and secure in your presence. And the best way to do that is by having a smile. Now, it doesn't mean that you have a big cheesy grin. It might be just a simple no teeth smile, or it might be just kind of like a crooked little smile. Whatever it is, don't force it. Just make sure that it's natural. And if she smiles back, then you've got a good chance. Just stay natural and happy, almost like we're an old friend and you're approaching us with the same sort of attitude. Number 3, have relaxed body language yourself and don't come too close. It's really kind of wise, no matter how gorgeous she is, no matter how much you want her, to really keep a distance of about a meter. The last thing that you want to do is feel that you can get into her personal space. We don't like that. Majority of the time, we don't want to be touched unless we want to be touched. And just because we are maybe opening up our body language a little bit more to you because we obviously feel safe or we're interested, it does not mean that you have the right to invade that personal space. Guys, if you want to shoot yourself in the foot, then all you need to do is come right close up to her in her face and her ears, around her neck, or start touching everywhere, and she is going to want to run a mile simply because she feels that you're too full on, you're either too intimidating, or she doesn't feel safe in your presence. So be aware of what your body language is saying. Do you have the sort of confident yet friendly sort of appeal when it comes to the way that you hold yourself? Are you having your arms crossed so that you look really intimidating towards her? Or do you just have your hands in your pocket so that you can just look kind of casual and relaxed, yet your body is still turned to her to show that you are actually interested? Now, because you're also keeping that gap between you and her, it gives her room to be able to signal whether or not she is even more interested in you. Because if she is, then she'll probably actually start to edge a little bit more towards you, or she'll find a reason to touch you. Let her lead the way when it comes to the body language and the touching as such right at the beginning. Depending what she does will give you an indication of how to respond. Number 2, make a joke. Don't be so serious. If you can get her to laugh within the first couple of minutes, then you know what? You have a really good chance of being able to go on a date with this girl and you are leaving a good impression. It doesn't mean that you have to have jokes up your sleeve. You don't have to perform. We love to know that if a guy actually approaches us, that not only does he have an idea of what it is that he wants to say, but he's someone who is able to just kind of have fun and lighten the mood between us, because there's already an expectation with the fact that you're approaching us. There's your expectation, there's the girl's expectation, and it can always turn a little bit awkward, and you don't want to do that. What you want to do is you want to put her mind to ease, and the best way to do that is simply to add a little bit of humor to the situation. And lastly, number 1, ask lots of questions and listen more than you speak. Again, we know that women like to talk. What you want to do is you want to actually show that you're interested in who she is, and the best way to do that is simply to ask questions.
So tell me something that you're interested in, like, I don't know, what are you passionate about?
But of course, actually listen to what it is that she's saying. Now, you can actually show that you're listening to what she's saying simply by the way that you hold yourself, your body language, not fiddling with your phone, not looking around the room, not looking at your watch, facing her with your body language, making sure that you don't have your arms crossed in front of you, nodding to what she's saying, smiling, responding. These are all sort of ways that you can show that you're actually curious to know who she is and what it is that she has to say. And you know what, guys? If you can actually do this, it's going to make us feel prioritized. It's going to make us feel really kind of special. And it's going to plant seeds in our head that you might be different from all the other guys out there. Another great tip is to affirm that what she is saying, but don't necessarily agree with everything that she says, okay? The last thing you want to do is come across as a guy that's kind of too easy, and then we know that you only kind of want one thing. Leave some mystery about yourself. We love to be surprised, and we are kind of drawn to any sort of man that gives us the whole mysterious kind of gentleman vibe. Your approach is the beginning of initiating anything with a woman, hence why it can either seal your fate or open up limitless opportunities. ease. That's why it's important to be able to master the approach so that you can leave a great first impression and also minimize rejection. Now, of course, when you actually go up to her, it's important that you have a conversation. So if you haven't already downloaded our conversation cheat sheet, then make sure you do it right now. All you need to do is simply click the image at the bottom of the screen. In this cheat sheet, we're going to give you simple techniques to make sure that you never run out of things to say. We're also going to tell you how to initiate conversation no matter what the situation. And of course, we're going to show you how you can accelerate the interaction between her so that you can take it to the next level, plus so much more. And if you haven't already hit subscribe, then make sure you do it now, because I have so much more to be able to give you in the next few videos. And honestly, guys, if you're someone who actually really struggles with meeting a woman and knowing what to say, where to go, how to actually set a great first impression beyond what it is that we're actually teaching you, then I really strongly suggest that you check out our bootcamp schedule. Alright guys, that's it for now. I'm Renee Slansky for the Attractive Man team. Hope you liked this video. Don't forget to share it with your mates, and of course, tell us your thoughts and feelings in the comments below. Until next time, bye for now.